Everybody to Undermat Radio. Today's title is Overkill. We'll be talking about a bunch of different topics as we will be having a roundtable episode as always with yours truly, NSC Gameboy, Angry Mark, whenever he's sober enough to talk and not drunk. Of course, Toph, Saltine, Afro-City Queen will be joining in momentarily to talk about vast variety of topics and different segments. We'll be talking about certain things such as, of course, Angry Mark having some huge news on WWE, groundbreaking news that will be coming up very soon. And, of course, as you know, we always break the news, and the dirt sheets are always break them about 4, 5, 6, 7 weeks later. You won't give us credit for it. Because we'll be talking about CM Punk's recent comments on WWE, how they treat their employees. Are we really concerned with too much wrestling nowadays? Is the New Day getting stale? And, of course, we'll be talking about pop culture news such as the new hidden mission in Grand Theft Auto 5, Walking Dead, new characters coming out Season 7, and a whole bunch of other things, news and topics. NSC Gameboy will also be giving a little segment with NSC Gameboy. We'll be giving a little love tips for anybody listening, male, female, all over that might be. Need little tips on a little tender time, if you will. A little help on that. Angry Mark will be talking about what beer you should drink at night or what beer you should not drink. And, of course, a bunch of other things. Fans, you can call into the show, 347-677-1862. Follow us on Twitter. Tweet us at tech_UTMR. Follow NSC Gameboy on Twitter at.
I believe it's NSC Gameboy, spelled correctly. Thank you. You all right?
Please, you spelled correctly. Angry Mark, yeah. Tell us what's up, man. Tell us how to find you on social media.
All right, so you need to get a hold of the Angry One. You do it through the Under the Mat Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, Tinder pages. All right, just use the hashtag Angry Mark. All right, and or you can leave a post-it note at your local beer distributor on any Budweiser pounders, and I will respond quicker to that, just so you know, than the social media.
Well, it's good to know, Angry Mark, that you are up to technology and you know how to use.
Zach, guess what? I stopped using checks. So guess what? I stopped using checks. I got rid of the VCR. I got rid of the Laserdisc player. I got rid of the Beta player. I am all technologically savvy. I even have a 4K TV. No, dummies who are listening, that doesn't mean I paid $4,000 for a TV. All right? That has something to do with how pretty it is. It's man pretty.
There on that one.
Yeah, you don't say.
Yeah. Angry Mark is he's with the times.
I see.
He's with the times. Yes. So tell them how to follow you on Twitter.
You can follow me at Toph Knows Best and some new information as well. You can also find me on KH Insider. That's a Kingdom Hearts website because I'm into JRPGs. Just search up the username Some Black Dude.
Are you?
That's fucking good.
Some black guy. Some black dude.
Y'all love Toph. You funny.
Ever since your queen, welcome. Tell us how to follow you on Twitter.
Yeah, Butterfly 206, BAFLI 206.
Thank you.
All right.
And of course, Saltine, the salty one.
Yeah, the salty one at Saltine_MMBH. And Tech forgot a little Saltine rant too. Don't forget that. Shit. Everybody getting love advice and beer advice. What about the salty rant? Damn it.
Yeah,
Saltine, did you say you have a rat?
Rant. Rant. Damn it. Rant.
Well, we saw the picture of your basement. I wouldn't be surprised if it was a rat.
Oh, whoa. Don't get no rat near me. Hell no.
Oh, Lord. I think Saltine drinks more than I do.
Breaking news, I heard, Saltine, that, instead of you doing Netflix and chill, you pretty much be hanging out in your basement, watching little slideshows on your phone with your girl. Is that true, Saltine?
What the hell? Don't listen to this fool, everybody. Don't listen to this fool. Whatever.
Hey, you know what, Saltine? I learned a long time ago. Use these words. I cannot confirm or deny.
Well,
all right?
I plead the fifth.
No, don't do that. Just say I can't confirm or deny. Trust me. You're in the city. You know that shit. Ask Gameboy. They'll tell you.
Of course. Fans, don't forget follow us on Facebook, Under the Mat Radio group page, like page, the official Under the Mat Radio / Under the Mat Communications LLC page. The Gameboy always talks about the thumbs.
Make sure that you go to. That's my part. That's my part.
Oh, good. Sorry, delay, fans, delay. Go ahead.
Delay. Like I was going to say, make sure you go to the page, Under the Mat Radio, the official Under the Mat Radio Communications. Make sure you turn them blue. You know about the thumbs. I've been talking about it for years. Make sure you hug us up. Learn about all the news, upcoming events. And that's my part.
What the fuck was that?
It's my part.
It's real to him.
It hurts.
Are you speaking in tongues?
I'm speaking at a high tone.
Is that,
it's usually
dude,
what I do when
I told you to
people
stop
call my
doing
phone.
that weird. I told you to stop doing that weird shit with your girl where you wrap that thing around your balls.
Wait a minute.
This ain't the time, place for that one. Let's say that was a Thursday night on y'all show. Angry Mark, yeah, we don't talk about them things on this show. Yeah.
Sorry, man,
but thank you for reminding me about that. Yeah, okay.
Yeah,
I'm just saying.
Yeah,
right?
I understand. I see your vision. I see your vision. I see it.
You see my vision, but I hear it on you.
Yeah.
Hey, Mark. There's something called plugs that we still have to do. I know you're not used to that. And by the way, why Angry Mark? Remember, fans, Angry Mark still rather see man busters than girl vagina busters, and the fact that he's thinking about man's balls, and it's 11 o'clock p.m. So we're gonna leave that alone.
TMI.
Hey, this is great. Good to see you. Good to have you back. Of course, fans,
that's all right. By the time I'm 40,
I never went anywhere.
Hey, let's tech talk.
Yeah, thank you, Angry Mark. Thank you.
No problem.
Instagram. I don't think Angry Mark has that. Instagram, Under the Mat Radio, all one word. If you need to email us to get any updated appearances and upcoming guests, email us at underthematradio@gmail.com. And, of course, our YouTube channel, name of the show, Under the Mat Radio. You'll be able to listen to all the archive episodes with not only UTMR, but also Wrestling Black and White, all the face-to-face interviews we've done over the years at our great indie promotions, Ring of Honor, TNA, Global Force, all over that we've been to. Shout out to the Chuckster who runs the page. Shout out to you. And I'm not sure why he's laughing. And
I love it. You call them indie promotions. I love it.
Yeah, indie promotions. Yeah, it's the same thing. And so remember, there's a such thing called filler, right? Yeah, I know people act like filler doesn't exist. Filler does.
Yes, and Naruto's still in filler. God damn it, 2 years.
And with that being said, I'm going to flip it over to a serious subject, real quick, serious segment. Of course, this year has been a crazy year of deaths, some sudden, some out the blue. Giving us in first condolences to our own here, Baltimore City. We lost a Baltimore City local rapper, Lor Scoota, got murdered on Saturday night. So we do want to send our condolences to him, to his family, friends, and to locally our city of Baltimore, all around that knew him. I knew some people that knew him that was cool with him. So just want to send our condolences to his family. Very tough for the city for losing definitely an up-and-coming rapper in the scene. Lovely, too. And we do want to say something, too, on a serious note. On behalf of the staff of Under the Mat Radio and Under the Mat right under the Mat Communications LLC, do you know that if you are one of those people that posted the video of him getting dragged out of the car by the cops, please go kill yourself. It's very distasteful. It's very nasty. Just think, as if that was somebody in your family, would you want somebody to do that? People posting all over Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, all over the video of after he got shot, after he got killed, of course, the footage of the cops pulling him out of his car on Moravia. Very distasteful. So anybody that's listening, if you was a part of that act, shame on you. Definitely shame on you. Also want to send our condolences. We ended up losing two legends today in the world of sports. Passing away today was legendary coach in the NFL, Buddy Ryan, who was the father of former defensive coordinator and current coach Rex Ryan and his brother Rob Ryan. And then also we lost a very legendary, one of the greatest coaches in college basketball. Ms. Pat Summitt passed away today as well. So this weekend and, of course, today filled with losses of people. NFC Gameboy, real quick, any thoughts before we move on to our next segment?
Well, I just wanted to say about the Lor Scoota thing. I'm not really familiar with his music. I do want to send my condolences out to the family. I ran into a couple people here in Baltimore, so definitely wanted to say something about that. And to the athletes, the coaches who lost their lives, I hope that their family find peace and solace. And that's all I'm going to say on that.
Angry Mark, anything you want to add for the Lor Scoota, Pat Summitt, and Buddy Ryan?
The rapper that got shot, it's just a shame that, gun violence has to be prominent, whether it's in major cities or, metropolitan areas. You got people doing all whacked out shit. Some people, just are fucking stupid, but to gun down somebody in broad daylight, that's just a coward. Couldn't confront the guy as a man. It just goes to show what kind of man or woman was the person behind this. So, it's a shame. Losing Pat Summitt, the coach of the Tennessee Volunteers, she's one of the best coaches all time, basketball, period. I'm glad she lived to get into the Basketball Hall of Fame. She deserved it. And for fans of Buddy Ryan, I mean, nobody is ever going to be another Buddy Ryan. That guy he was smart, he had attitude, he didn't take nobody's shit, he was a beer drinker. I mean, he had all the characteristics that Angry Mark liked. And I grew up watching the Philadelphia Eagles when they had Reggie White. And Buddy Ryan was the coach. So, condolences as well. It's been a while since Reggie White's passed away too, but another great guy. So, but yeah, that's about all I have to say on that matter. Now I'm a little depressed. Now I need to fucking drink some more. So why don't you take over, Tech?
Yeah, have some fun with that. Drinking. What kind of beer are you drinking tonight, Angry Mark? Michelob, Keystone, Leaning Kugels?
Try Budweiser Pounders again. Thank you very much. Okay.
Okay.
I stay away from the fruity drinks. I stay away from cheap beer. I don't even like cheap beer in my house. Last time cheap beer got spilt on one of my goddamn chairs, I burned it. If you don't believe me, it's on the Under the Mat Twitter page.
Oh, yeah, it definitely is. Saltine, ever since you're clean, anything you want to add real quick on the Pats and the Lor Scoota, Pat Summitt, or Buddy Ryan?
Yes, for Lor Scoota, I've heard that he was coming from a charity event, and that's what happened. I think it was at Morgan, and people was filming him, rapping, doing a concert and everything. And when I heard about that, he got shot, I was like, wait a minute, wow. He was just at Morgan, and he just got shot at that. It's just amazing how quick stuff happens just like that. And, I know from him because I heard of him because I've been around town. Everybody used to talk about how he used to help the community, go to little kids and read to them and everything. So he did a lot. So I gotta give him a lot of love for that. He's a very respectful young man, and I really want him to see what he can do as a rapper, getting out there. Like the magazine, I think XL magazine have like the freshman rappers. It would have been cool to see him on there, like talking about Baltimore and how much he want to get back to Baltimore and everything. So it would have been really nice to see him out there.
That was it, your queen.
I don't know. I've never heard of him, but until it came from my bestie, and what I heard from my mom is just, I mean, to all of them that lost their lives, I'm sending my condolences out to the family. But that was like, it's too close to home. I'm not even a block from where he was killed. I would mostly walk down there, go either to McDonald's or go to the store that's right there, and it's just hitting a little bit too close to home. All these senseless killings out here. It's like we having somebody killed every day. It was just another triple shooting over in South Baltimore somewhere. It's like these people are just dropping for what? What? I mean, why? We just had all this stuff happening with the Freddie Gray case and and this guy's coming from a peace rally, and this is what happened. That whatever happened to him was personal. It was very personal because of how many times he got shot, and it just blows my mind. It's not like you can just pick up and go move somewhere else because it's happening all over.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just crazy.
Definitely is
close to home
sad.
for me.
Sad. Real quick, want to give a very funny quote from Buddy Ryan, and this is from his actual playbook. QBs, which means quarterbacks, are overpaid, overrated, pompous bastards, and must be punished. You have to say I do love that quote. Other y'all agree? NFC Gameboy agree on that quote?
Well, I can agree to that nowadays. A lot of them act like divas and stuff. So yeah, I can agree to that.
Yeah, me too. Oh yeah.
Yep.
All right. On that note, we're going to move on to the next topic. Let's get away from serious and bad and depressing news. CM Punk comes out recently, was on The Herd, Colin Cowherd. I'm a fan of some of his work recently, and said that WWE treats their employees like indentured servants, and talked about how WWE tries to pay everyone as little money as they possibly can, and how you have no health insurance, so you pretty much are on your own, blah, blah, blah. And I know last week, me, Angry Mark, and the Gameboy, Sophie, y'all talked about how we thought that CM Punk, him actually fighting on UFC 203, how this waited too long, how he really wasn't relevant. Guys, do y'all feel, Stonewall and the Gameboy, that CM Punk said this so his name can be back in the limelight for his fight, or do you think he's still bitter and upset?
Well, I think both, actually. I mean, of course, you're going to say something to pump it up. I think it's a double-edged sword because if you look at the UFC, you know, Brock is getting ready to have his match, and the WWE is allowing that. So, you know, they're trying to do a little bit of, I guess, supposedly cross-promotion because, you know, they both using Brock. But, you know, he's trying to get as much press as he can. As of late, you know, people in the UFC have been talking about how he's been really not becoming the person they want him to be. He's not really winning any of his sparring matches and stuff, and he's really not picking up where he needs to be. So, you know, I don't think necessarily it's a jab, because I think it is the truth from all the people that we've interviewed over the years and stuff. But at the same time, you know, why would you care? You know, on one show you don't want to talk about wrestling, it's fake, it's phony, you know, it's made up, and then another show you're talking about, well, when I was there, you know, Like, come on, which one is it? You know what I'm saying? Are you going to talk about it or you're not going to talk about it? You know what I'm saying? You feel what I'm saying? Like, it's just, you got to be consistent, man. And I think, you know, I like CM Punk. I really do. And I'm a fan of his. But you got to be consistent, man. Like, you know, you can't be down in it one day and then the next day you don't want to talk about it. And then on this particular show, you do want to talk about it because you got a match coming up and stuff. It don't look right. And it does more harm than good. So that's just my thought. Tech.
Toph, real quick, your thoughts on that?
He hasn't had a fight yet. So since he hasn't had a fight, there really isn't much they can ask him in the MMA world. Just the usual stuff that's already been asked to him a million times, I imagine. You know, how's your training going? Are you working on your ground and pound? Are you working on your jiu-jitsu? Where do you see yourself? Blah, blah, blah. I mean, like, you know, it's kind of like when you have a job interview and you haven't got the job yet. So they're just asking you the theoretical questions like, you know, what position would you like to see yourself in 2 to 3 years? So until you have established something concrete at your current job, there's really no real legit question they can ask you. So the only thing they can really ask you is what they already know about you, which in the interview would be about your previous experience. So in CM Punk's case, since they can't really go into detail about what kind of questions they want to ask him in UFC, the only thing they can really ask him about is WWE, you know, just WWE-related questions. And I can understand it from his point of view because he's trying to remove himself from that. He's trying to kind of put himself in the MMA, UFC world. But until he steps in the ring and has a fight, there's really nothing to say. I don't want to sound disrespectful to him, but, you know, it's kind of like when people do a review for a video game. You can't really do a review if the game's not out unless you got an early copy. So I understand why he is reluctant with answering these wrestling WWE questions, but at the same time, that's kind of what gives his name publicity. So it's pretty much like Gameboy said, it's a double-edged sword. Until he has a fight, until he steps in the ring, most of his interviews are just going to be WWE-related questions, and because of his situation and because of how he left, a lot of fans are just going to interpret that as him throwing shade or taking a jab or, you know, whatever analogy you want to use.
Thank you, Mark. Your thoughts? I think Mark probably still drinking beer.
No, I'm
Queen.
Here. No, I'm here. I was literally just kind of listening to a little bit of the background noise, like somebody's cell phone who's on the show. At least on my end, I'm hearing almost like a wind tunnel.
Oh.
So I recommend that I recommend until we're kind of led into our questions, I think we, you know, unless you're Tech, I think, and Gameboy, I think we should mute our phones. But that's just my suggestion.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I should apologize for that. I know on my end I really didn't hear anything, but yeah, definitely we can do that.
I do hear something.
Oh, you heard it too, Gameboy?
Yeah, I hear something. You know what I mean? So yeah, I can.
We'll definitely take care of that. Okay,
so my thoughts on CM Punk. All right, here we go. So everybody's talking, you know, hey, they can only ask him WWE questions, you know. I disagree with that. I think they can have a solid interview with CM Punk in regards to his opinions of other topics, okay? You know, number one, he is writing comic books. You know, he is doing that. There's a large fan base for that. Yeah, is it the same people who are watching UFC? Probably not. Is it the same people that are in the e-gaming, though? Probably. So, I mean, when it comes to talking to CM Punk, I think it's getting old talking about WWE. It's getting stale. He's 2 years removed. If as a journalist, the only thing you can do is talk about WWE, when you're interviewing him, obviously you're not that good. Okay? You could talk about the upcoming card. You could talk about, you know, the delay of him getting in the ring, you know, with the surgeries he had. You know, talk about the surgeries. You could talk about, you know, what's motivating him at this late age to do this. It's a young man's game, you know, but they aren't. So for CM Punk to be asked WWE questions and then kind of come across as bitter, I'd be bitter too. Fucking 2 years removed from WWE, there's other headliners now. I mean, for Christ's sakes, it's old fucking news. So if I was CM Punk, I'd definitely be acting bitter about the questions and giving, bitter answers.
Yeah, I feel he's saying it, and plus we also got to look at who's interviewing. Colin Cowherd does a great job at what he does. Is not a fan of wrestling as it is. He calls wrestling fake. He said that on numerous occasions. He's not really a fan of pro wrestling. So the fact that he was on the show and Punk said those questions and he asked it would make sense because, of course, he definitely would want to put over more the fact that how wrestling isn't, because he's not a fan of it. So any negative publicity, of course, he's going to enjoy it. But my thing with Punk is just get over it, man. I mean, WWE's indentured servants, and, dude, it's pro wrestling. It's nothing new. The forefathers of wrestling, we all know it's not union. Jesse Ventura tried to do that years ago. We all know unless you're a senior, unless you're a big money guy on top of a certain level, we all know that you don't have health insurance. That's a risk you take. I mean, him complaining about that is nothing new. Everybody's talked about it. We all know it. Like you said, it's old news. We get it. You're a pro wrestler. You get busted up, and there's no health insurance, and the car rentals. That's how the business works. It's always been like that. I mean, of course, it's better now, of course, with guaranteed contracts, and, if you're on the upper echelon of the seniors or the Ortons or the Triple H's or certain people that has everything, added in your contract with JBL that can fly on the private jet. But that just goes with the business. That's just the risk you take. So it's no use of complaining about something that has been the same way for all these years. That's just my thought. Like you said, does anybody really miss CM Punk? Like you said, the ratings really don't show any difference. I mean, Punk was hot for when he was, but he didn't make or break the business. It's like, okay, like we all forgot about him. No one gets up thinking about CM Punk at all. And he's pretty much going to get his tail whooped when it comes to UFC, I think, by the second round. Now, we do have a caller calling in. Caller, welcome to Under the Mat Radio with Tech, NSC Gameboy, and Angry Mark. Caller? Hello?
Caller there?
Are you there?
Hey, caller, put the bong down.
Okay, all right. Well, just want to let everybody know, if you do call in, please be ready to speak. We're not going to hold atop any lines for anybody else who wants to call in. So, fans, we thank you for calling in. But when you do, please be ready to ask your question or make your comment. If we say hello twice and you don't say anything, I'm hanging up on you right away. Please be ready for that. So, with the CM Punk thing, moving on to it. Now, maybe NSC Gameboy can help me out. I'm going to bring in Toe for this and Angry Mark. Vader, Big Van Vader, of course, we've interviewed Vader before. Social media, of course, we know tweets go back and forth between different wrestlers, different celebrities. We even know people who've got blocked by certain wrestlers. Stone Cold Steve Austin. Shout out to Razor and Gil Mill. Vader made a tweet about a event. It was Ricochet from Lucha Underground. It wrestled against Will Ospreay. Hopefully I'm saying his name right. Vader, of course, tweeted how it was nothing but, I believe, basically a memorized gymnastics show, something of that effect. Of course, the tweets went back and forth. They started a Twitter beef, a Twitter feud. And now, in August, at an event, Vader will be going against Will Ospreay, who's a junior heavyweight. Now, I'm going to have Toph start this off. I know he's one of our correspondents. Toph, start off real quick, because I don't want to take too long on this subject. Your thoughts of the Vader-Will Ospreay match, and then I'll have Angry Mark give his thoughts and Gameboy.
Yeah, so Ricochet and Will Ospreay, they had a match in New Japan a while back, and for some reason the match got a lot of attention. It was an old match, but it's just one of those old matches that fans just all of a sudden started talking about, I guess because of the buzz of Lucha Underground and because of Ricochet recently going to New Japan. Ricochet, a.k.a. Prince Puma, did a detailed rant about it, I think on Twitter or Facebook or Instagram, one of somewhere he did, and he talked about how pro wrestling is an art, and you express your art in different ways, whether it's hardcore style, submission style, high-flying style, storytelling style, and he just said that, the way that he wrestles is his particular way of expressing art. Some people like it. Some people think it looks too choreographed, like something off a Power Rangers show. And so Willow Spray, he basically said that, Vader was one of his inspirations and stuff. And, Vader, he didn't like it on Twitter, and he pretty much just said that it was too choreographed, like Tech just said. So then what Willow Spray started to do was he started to incorporate the Vader bomb into his offense, and people were kicking out of it at one. So, kind of like just trolling, kind of like what the Young Bucks do and stuff like that. So they just keep taking shots at each other on social media, and now it's leading to a match later on. I think this whole thing's a work. Well, probably a shoot work. I do believe that Vader probably does feel that way. I do think that Vader probably does think that that style isn't wrestling in his eyes. So I do believe he probably legitimately feels that way. But as far as the shots being thrown at on social media, I think it's all a work, and it's all going to lead up to a match, of course. And, of course, again, Vader's a heavyweight, and Willow Spray, he's a junior weight, a.k.a. a cruiserweight, So it'll be interesting, and we'll see where it goes. Hopefully Vader doesn't eat him. And, that's pretty much all I got to say.
Thank you, Mark. Your thoughts?
I think fucking Vader is a joke now. We had the chance to see him in person.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. His gimmick line for entire intermission, he signed 3 autographs. Okay. He gets $2,000 to $2,500 to show up.
Yep.
His gimmick, was not creative at all. Was never truly a fan of it. Wasn't a fan of his in-ring work. He is one of the most dangerous guys to be in the ring with. And for him to talk his way into a payday, good for him at his old-ass age. He can pay his AARP membership. But it's a joke. The promoter, booked a match. If I was Will, I would have charged triple my normal rate to do this match, because full well Vader's going to go in there and work the angle like, hey, I'll put him over at the last minute, and then we can do another match because I'm Vader. And get another fucking payday. But he's a fat fuck. He can barely walk to the ring. Anything more than 5 minutes for this thing is a waste. So, good job, Mr. Promoter, for wasting your fucking money on a tweet battle with Vader, who watched a 30-second clip of this match. So, fucking idiot.
And it's a Gameboy.
Well, I think Toph and Angry Mark kind of hit it on the nose. I pretty much feel the same way them guys feel. Vader, cool guy backstage. We interviewed him a few times and stuff. But, yeah, it's not much for the business he can do. His opinions on it is really not that relevant anymore because of the business, how much it's changed. We've had other people who we talked about here on the show who've given their negative opinions on the different promotions, such as like Lucha Underground and stuff, and been blasted off of it because they don't know what the hell they're talking about. And not to mention Lucha Underground is still on the air, still got a good fan base, and I still watch it. So, this was just him talking his way into a payday, like Angry Martin said. And, if he made some money out of it, then, hey, you got to get your money the way, you got to get your money. But other than that, that's clearly what this was. And that's just where I'm going to leave it at.
Lucha Underground is still only 1 hour. And it's better than 3 hours on Raw. 3 hours of Raw. So, yeah. Well, there you said Vader, cool guy, but he can't move, he can't walk. We saw him, what was he in this Gameboy, stretching for like 30 minutes on his back.
Yeah, it was kind of weird, too.
He really needed to relax his back.
Yeah, he really did. He really need to stop. You know, like when you get that far, man, you need to stop. Like I think that's your body kind of telling you. You know, your body give you warning signs. Like, you know, you're going too far. Like if you're driving for a long period of time, your eyes getting dim. You know, your body, you start falling asleep at the wheel. Your body tells you telltale signs that, you know, hey, this is about that time. And I think he's getting to that time, watching him stretch. You know, I've been in martial arts for almost 20 years. I ain't never seen nobody stretch like that before. And I'm like, that don't look healthy. like you know, that don't even. That don't even that don't even look like it's doing any good for you. Like, I really think in his best interest, and if he's hearing this or someone that knows him hearing this, I hope they relay the message. Vader needs to stop. You know what I mean? He really needs to go ahead. Yeah. You know what I mean?
I might get in trouble for this, but I mean, it's live radio, so whatever. So I've known Tech for a while, and you know, we met through a mutual acquaintance, a different wrestling, I guess you could say, website, podcast, whatever. We met through PWP Nation, which is located in New Jersey. And, you know, when I was still getting my foot wet, actually, one of the first live things I ever did was I was given the privilege of interviewing Vader. And this was really like my first real, I guess, it was because before this, I was just doing like a website thing. I was just working on the website. I wasn't doing radio or actual live interviews. And, you know, there was PWS, Pro Wrestling Syndicate, really popular in that area. And Vader was there, John Morrison was there, a bunch of folks were there. And, you know, the owner told me, hey, man, you get to interview Vader. And I was excited. And, you know, because I was a big Vader fan. My very first show, and I've talked about this privately with Tech before, very first wrestling show I've ever seen as a kid was WCW Starrcade, Ric Flair against Vader, title versus career. I remember everything from that card. So I was excited, man. I was going to interview Vader, and they told me that I had Vader for 30 minutes, you know, so I was like, sweet, man. I can't wait to talk to Vader. I had, like, everything formatted. Remember when you were in school, you used to do pre-writing, used to have, like, all the bullet points already in order, man. I was excited, man. I had everything ready. How about, like, 5 minutes before it was time for the interview, got a call from his agent and basically said, hey, man, you only got Vader for 5 minutes. And I was so pissed. I was like, wow. And it was like my first ever interview, too. You know, first ever on live. You know, so it wasn't like this was recorded and then you fixed the editing later. Like, no, it was like live. So it was like, fuck, only 5 minutes, dude. You know, so Vader came on, and I was like, what can I do? Like, you know, let me just go ahead and just ask him questions about the wrestling business. But Vader just kept the conversation more about his son. I think his son is a wrestler, so that's cool, I guess. You know, but he was still paid for the interview, even though we didn't really ask any relevant questions. And I asked the agent, you know, how come Vader had to cut the interview short? Like, was it a family emergency? Was he tired? And the agent said, well, he had to go to an autograph signing and sign autographs. And that was kind of what, you know, made me do this little short story, because I noticed Angry Mark, he brought up the autograph thing, but the agent said that the autograph, you know, he had an autograph session to attend, and I found out the very next day from someone that attended the said event that Vader had only signed about, like, maybe 5 autographs, and the venue had about probably around, like, 600 people. So that kind of made me even more salty, you know, so... I mean, who knows, man? Maybe he's had a bad day. I mean, I don't know, but yeah, I think Vader is he's just hustling. He's just trying to get that money. You know, it is what it is.
So still burns on that one. So still burns. With that, like, so the match that happened, like Emma said, the promoter that was stupid enough to actually pay for that fight shows where your business mindset is at. Question everybody's going to join into. I will bring you guys in one-on-one for this. Something that Afrocentric Queen alluded to off air, and I'm starting to see a lot of people mention this, is New Day. We know New Day, biggest thing WWE got right now, the most over thing that they have. One of the concerns is New Day starting to become stale? Are they starting to lose their luster? Is it due to oversaturation? Is it due to WWE putting them over too much because of the lack of anybody else being as over? NFC Gameboy, start with you, and then I'll call everybody out one by one. How do you feel?
Watching Raw, fast forwarding through Raw and really looking at certain parts, I did catch a glimpse of them talking with the Wyatt family. And one thing that was very interesting, folks, was the fact that as they were talking, they were cheering over the Wyatt family, which I was kind of shocked about that. Only because, usually the Wyatt family, even though, they do still lose, they still give a good amount of feedback from the fans. I think that the reason why it's getting stale is because I think the guys are running out of ideas, and now they're getting to that glass ceiling. And we spoke about this, a couple months ago. They really getting into the glass ceiling. They really running out of ideas, and now they're trying to say, all right, well, the only thing to keep us fresh is one of us is going to, I guess. Woods is going to leave and get brainwashed, and we got to save him or something. Sound like something from a video game. And, they can probably run that angle through the summer or something until SummerSlam or whatever, because they other than that, what else do they got? They sold the shirts, they got their little catchphrase, they got their dancing and stuff. And after that, then they still got the championships. So the only thing I can see them doing is one of them drifting away, and they got to, the fans got to help them rally to get them back or something like that, and that's about it. Once they do that, the next key thing is they're going to have to break up, because you don't win no major titles like that, not no world belt or anything. So, then again, the brand split will be coming up, so maybe that might bring some interesting thing to it, but that's what I'm seeing so far.
Well, one thing's for sure with the brand split, New Day, no Wyatt family, any stable that has 2 or 3 people will not get split up. That's one thing for sure. They can't afford that. Even though it will be interesting, that stable isn't going to they're not getting split up, though. Angry Mark, your thoughts on the New Day? And after that, I'll bring in Afro-Central Queen, and then Saltine, then Toph.
Well, I'm looking forward to a new day. Tomorrow's Wednesday.
You do the same thing every day, Angry Mark. It's like Groundhog Day. Drink beer, drink Keystone Light. Y'all let the angry wife. Y'all get a little angry love. Angry Mike, you barks. Angry adolescent, fix you lunch. Same thing. So.
Yeah, that's called consistency. Somebody's got to have it in their life.
Yeah.
But I mean, the New Day, they're just being misused right now. Okay, they need to be not just promo guys. You got Kofi Kingston, who is a top 5 guy in the company overall as a performer. Okay? You got Big E, who could be elevated to main event type guy. Done right. You got Xavier Woods, who is a talented wrestler, but a more talented talker. Okay, so not seeing them perform as much as they should be is disappointing, and I think that's what the fans are getting tired of. They're not seeing them perform. People are getting tired of just New Day promos. Wrestling fans, are exactly that. They are wrestling fans. If WWE wants to start a new show called, Promo Factory, then go for it. But I think, the titles got to come off of them, or they got to start, really showing dominance. But they can't show dominance right now because the Wyatt family needs to be dominant. So it's a bad booking for both parties. It's worse for the Wyatts. The Wyatt family's already getting buried again. So that's my thought. That's my thought. Yeah, that's my thought on New Day.
Yeah, I definitely do agree. Like you said, the WWE Network is so full of other shows, so many other ideas they can do. You want to do promos. Xavier Woods says up, up, down, down, which is definitely love his show. Use his show more so promos if you want to see more of their acts and see more of their personalities. But like you said, it's wrestling. People want to see that. Want to see them in the ring. All 3 of them are great athletes in their own respective right. Thoughts on that too. Ever since your Queen, come on in and give your thoughts on New Day. Do you feel New Day is getting stale? Do you agree with how they're being booked?
Of course, I didn't like New Day in the beginning. They're starting to grow on me. Their promos are seem hilarious to me, but it's starting to like just go off to the left now that the Wyatt family is back. And because right before they all of them left, the Wyatt family was up there for everybody to just sit up there, cheer, talk to them, get with them or whatever. But I think they're losing themselves because the Wyatt family is back in now. Now, unless you know what's going to happen on July the 19th with the brand split, they got to come up with something. They either got to put teams on in the different brands or whatever. But as long as the Wyatt family is there, I think that's what happened. They came back and they're getting ready to go out, just going down the drain. I don't know, but I'm agreeing with Angel Mark and Gameboy. Something just needs to happen. The Wyatt family back. New Day is going out the door. That's all I can say about it.
Thank you for such a queen. Saltine, your thoughts?
Yes, I think basically I have a feeling they might break up because it seems as though Xavier was getting that, wondering like, do I really want to be in this group anymore? Is this worth it? Because as you seen, Bray Wyatt was talking his gospel and everything. He was like feeling like, I need to get away from this. So I'm thinking like Xavier Woods might be leaving and probably going to SmackDown because, I always thought, back in the day, SmackDown was the place to watch because it had better wrestling program to me. And if I was a star, I would go to SmackDown, to be honest with you, because Raw had like the biggest stars, but on SmackDown they had the stars like, stars can bring out their talent and say, oh, right, I like this guy, so let's give him a chance on SmackDown. So on that. You remember Devon was on SmackDown years ago, and Bubba Ray was on Raw. So I'm thinking that and Reverend Devon. I was thinking like they might split up the group because New Day is kind of getting lackluster, and I think everybody's getting really bored with them now. So it'd be interesting to see what new idea they gonna come up with.
Thank you, Saltine, for that. Bring it to. I remember Reverend Devon actually is one of the few people in that time period, ever to have a clean pinfall win over Triple H.
That's my guilty pleasure gimmick. I love Pastor Devon.
Angry Mark, were you a fan of Deacon Batista?
Of Dave Batista?
Deacon Batista.
Oh, Deacon? No.
Anybody figure out what was in that box? Remember that offering box Deacon Batista used to carry around? I feel, I didn't really get to see much of Raw. I caught a tad bit of it. I feel, my view, WWE should not break up New Day. It's the biggest merchandise that they got going on. Everybody has the New Day. If they split up the New Day, that's pretty much going to kill the gimmick for a bit. And while the iron is still hot, while the stove is still hot, keep milking it. And for me, it's no reason to split them up because you have them as tag team champions. They're still over. People love them. The merchandise sales are going through the roof. Logically, what would be the reason to splitting them up right now? Just giving more people to wrestle, like Avery Mark said. Have them wrestle more. Stop doing as many promos. Bringing more people. Have them have new feuds. NC Gameboy, your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I can go.
Oh, well, go ahead, Toph.
Oh, that's right. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Toph.
I'll go through the New Day real quick. First and foremost, I don't think that the fans are tired of them. This week's Raw was particularly bad. It wasn't a good episode. and the crowd was dead. But one of the few points of the show where the crowd woke up was the New Day when they were doing the parody of the Wyatt family. So no matter what area they go to, whether it's a casual crowd or a smart crowd, the fans are into them. So I definitely think the fans want to see it continue. Are they stale? I don't think the group is stale. I think that how WWE uses them could be better. Like, for instance, why are they just limited to tag teams? Like, why can't you have all of them be a tag team while also still being singles wrestlers? To me, that's kind of like one of the things that made TNA's Beer Money one of the more successful groups, because they were a really over tag team in TNA, but while James Storm and Bobby Roode were a tag team, they could also contend for a singles title, and no one ever had to worry about Beer Money breaking up. It just worked, you know? And I feel like New Day could be tag team champions, but at the same time, you could have like a Big E chasing Miz for the Intercontinental title, or have a Kofi chasing Rusev for U.S. title, like, and it could still work because they're the New Day. You know, that's just an example of something different you could do with them. I do think that the time is getting close, but it's not near. I know a lot of people are calling the New Day the spiritual successors of Edge and Christian, because Edge and Christian used to do a lot of silly stuff to get over. But even Edge and Christian, you know, fans may not remember, their peak was about 2 years. And when I mean their peak, I mean like as a tag team, them being goofy, them being silly, because their push started like in late 1999, and it went throughout all of 2000, and then pretty much by the end of 2001, Edge and Christian were doing their own thing, and that was when wrestling was hot. So Edge and Christian, at their hottest as a tag team, their peak was about 2 years. And New Day, they've been around for about 2 years, but they've only been over for about 1 year, and we're about to, reach the 1 year anniversary of them being tag team champions and stuff like that. So the last thing I got to say about New Day is there a chance that they can be broken up by a brand split? Based off the merchandise, I would say no, but all I can say is never say never. I know that a lot of folks might remember the APA. I know that the APA is not on the same level as New Day, but the APA was a very popular and it was a very overact during the Attitude Era. You guys remember those little segments, those beer drinking segments? That was great comedy. You know, that was great comedy. And when they did that brand split, when they introduced it, one of the first teams they broke up was the APA. And they built that up, and they did that one last party. If anyone can remember, go to YouTube and put in final APA segment. There were a lot of fans that were sad. They were legitimately sad, and they broke them up. Now, APA, they weren't selling as much merch as New Day, but they were over. You know, I don't have the merch numbers in front of me, but they were like the second or third most over team, like next to the Outlaws or whoever. And they broke them up, you know. So when they do these drafts, doesn't care. He'll break them up as long as he sees something going to, you know. So, I mean, I don't think they'll break New Day up, but I wouldn't be surprised if they did. I just want to let fans know, don't think that anyone's safe. Because, you know, Vince will break up a tag team. He will.
He's not a fan of tag teams anyway. We all know that much. Other question, the Wyatt family, they've been in obscurity forever. And they debuted here in Baltimore. They come and they go. One of the most over gimmicks, especially Bray Wyatt himself, in the past good 5 to 10 years, got to be top 5 most over gimmicks, if not top 2. But yet they keep coming and they keep going. And it's just sad. And like Mark said, the Wyatt family needs to be dominant. They need to just beat the crap out of everybody. Raw, SmackDown, NXT. What can WWE do? So NXT Gameboy. What can WWE do to make the Wyatt family feared again? Because nobody really fears the Wyatt family. They're there. We know they're going to be there. You know they're going to get in the feud, and they always lose.
I think you answered your own question. But if you want me to piggyback off of it, I can do that. Yeah, I mean, the Wyatt family is the most refreshing gimmick I've ever seen in WWE, and I'll even say the last 15 years. As far as, remember, you know, they debuted here in Baltimore. We saw them, you know, I felt the energy. You know, Bray Wyatt, mic skills alone I put them up, Paul, almost up there with Chris Jericho and The Rock almost. Like, you know, it's flawless. Like, when he talks, I believe him. And that's what a great character is supposed to do. You know, even when he loses, he still has enough flair and he still has enough charisma to make it seem like, you know, even though I lost, like most villains do, you know, the war's still going on. And at this time, you come to a business where the more you lose, the more respect you lose, the more the fans you're going to lose. Now you got to beg the question, you know, are y'all really that dominant, or, you know, are you just blowing up hot air? Are you just blowing smoke up our ass? If they want to really regain that push that they have to win. They have to go all out, you know. And what that means is that they got to win everywhere. I would love to see them go through each, and NXT going in SmackDown, Raw. I mean, as soon as it come on, you know what I mean? Like, you know, the opening credits. They stop the opening credits in mid-spread and just come on out there and just beat up somebody. Like, they got to do something, you know, catastrophic, because they've been beaten down so much, you know, and the reputation of them has been so low. You know, that's the only way you're going to, you need shock value. Shock value, especially as a heel. That's what keeps you going. That's what keeps you alive. And also it's your competition. They need to be dominant. They shouldn't have no competition. You know, they should be just going for every belt they can get to, because, you know, they can. That's my thought. Okay.
Everyone, your thoughts. Then I'm going to give my, the Wyatt. I know,
oh,
you
Jesus. I really got to talk about the Wyatt. We got to talk about him every 2 weeks. Okay.
They come back. The
huh?
It's not just getting them over, but it's booking. What would you do? How would you have them to actually become relevant? You know, would you put the titles on them? Would you?
No. They don't need any titles. They don't need any goddamn titles. As far as I'm concerned, Bray doesn't need a title for 5 years, in my opinion. He doesn't need it. Some characters do not need titles. He's one of them. You know, as long as you book him 75% of the time over, I'm fine with that. You know, you can't do 50-50 books with Bray. You know, the Wyatt family just needs to come out and beat the shit out of people. Okay? Plain and simple. And
beat them up.
Splitting them up, don't agree with it.
Yeah.
Don't agree.
Beat them up, do his little cryptid promo real quick and leave.
Yeah. I mean,
how about having them abduct? How about having the Wyatts, and we'll go to the next segment, how about having them actually abduct people and actually show the legitimacy of the air quote cult and actually have them change over? Kind of like CM Punk when it was the Straight Edge Society, when, you know, something I did enjoy when he was doing the Straight Edge thing and people was getting shaved bald. The Wyatts has kidnapped people and nothing's come of it. They kidnapped Daniel Bryan twice. They kidnapped Kane twice. They kidnapped The Undertaker. What the hell happened? They came back the same way they were. You get what I mean?
No, what I would like to see them do, and I think it'd be pretty badass, and I've ran this past a couple friends of mine, and they love it. Let the Wyatts come out, you know, beat the shit out of, you know, somebody every fucking week, put them in a body bag, zip it up, and leave them in the ring. You know, and then all of a sudden, you know, refs come out, open the body bag up, and the guy's just fucking in shock. You know, he doesn't want to fucking move. You know, and I just think, you know, bringing the old body bag into pro wrestling again would, especially with the Wyatts, you know, they're here to take your soul. How do you take somebody's soul? You know, kill them. Kill them and take their souls. But it's PG. We won't see no body bags. But just from a psychological standpoint, it would be over as shit. You know, can you see him coming out, you know, Xavier Woods, you know, they beat the shit out of everybody but put Xavier in a fucking body bag.